Okay, let's get more on this now from Chris Doyle, who joins me from London. He's Middle East commentator and director at the Council of Arab-British Understanding. Welcome to you, Chris. Let's start with this 21-point proposal. One of the key things that jumped out for me again is asking Hamas to be okay with not being involved in any future governance. I mean, how likely do you think this plan might be?
It is conceivable, but you also have got so many other obstacles. So we haven't really heard what the Israeli authorities think of this plan. There are certainly elements to that they're going to dislike. But it is, I think, it has to be positive that the Trump administration at least is engaging with this. I think it is a positive sign that Trump has come out and said there shouldn't be no annexation in Gaza. I mean, positive to an extent, with huge amounts of caveats, not least, how long does he maintain that position for? Is that for the next couple of months? And does he change his mind? We've seen that so often. So great to get back into some form of diplomacy, not least after those strikes on Doha against the Hamas negotiating team. But I think that those very strikes have probably hardened those attitudes. So getting this traction for this plan may be very, very challenging.
I mean, it's the same old problems that are going to rear their heads, isn't it? Because reportedly this plan involves the gradual withdrawal of Israel's military presence. Now, the problem with that is Israel has a track record of not carrying through with the promises that it makes. We saw it with the previous ceasefire. They went through phase one and then unilaterally just withdrew, to the shock of everybody involved. And isn't that the concern, that if it's a gradual withdrawal of Israel's military, no one's going to trust them to carry through?
Of course, this is a concern, and there are many ministers in the Israeli government who want to annex large parts of Gaza, not just the West Bank. And they have plans to build in Gaza and make it that Riviera. They've got plans, of course, to expel large parts of the Palestinian population outside. I don't think those plans have been abandoned. So much of this will come down to, is President Trump willing to do the heavy lifting to push Israel to adhere to the key ingredients of this plan? And I think, that is something we don't know. In the end, all of this has to come to an end. And I think what we are seeing here is the impact of Israel's isolation, the impact of 2 years of this genocide. And maybe it's the start of the United States saying that this now has to end. You've had enough. It's hard to know. We're in early days on this plan.
Chris, President Trump said he won't allow the annexation of the occupied West Bank, but we know that the US is closely aligned with what Israel wants, and we know that already Israel has launched its E1 project. It's already in the process of cutting in half the occupied West Bank to achieve its goals there. So, I mean, wouldn't this be a massive reversal to then say we're not going to allow that?
Well, I'd be a little bit cautious on this. Annexation would be Israel taking it over in terms of applying its sovereignty onto the West Bank. What Trump has said would not preclude Israel from going forward with E1. This is just putting in, another new settlement, which, of course, they've done so often, over 270 illegal settlements in the West Bank. So the problem with ruling out annexation is it doesn't rule out settlement expansion. It doesn't actually call for the reversal of those settlements. So they can busily go ahead gobbling up more land, kicking out more communities, without actually going for de jure annexation. They effectively have annexed the West Bank in all but name. So that is a weakness of the Trump position. I think it's been pushed largely to assuage particularly Arab concern, but it needs more. It needs a freeze on that settlement building in the first stage.
Chris, great to speak to you. Thanks for your time. Chris Doyle is the director of the
you.
Council of Arab-British Understanding.